Have you ever pondered on the different interpretations of the story of Adam and Eve? The narrative of humanity's first parents has been told and retold countless times across centuries, often with unique twists and turns that reflect various cultural, philosophical, and religious perspectives. Today, we'll be exploring four intriguing interpretations of this seminal story: the Serpent seed doctrine, the Torah Interpretation, the Gnostic Interpretation, and the biblical story of Cain and Abel. The Serpent seed doctrine, a contentious belief within certain Christian circles, posits that Eve bore offspring from the serpent, leading to the creation of two distinct races. The Torah interpretation, rooted in Jewish midrashic texts, suggests that Cain, the infamous son of Adam and Eve, might actually be the progeny of a fallen angel. Then we have the Gnostic interpretation, extracted from the ancient text on the origin of the world, which offers a cosmological perspective intertwining creation and end times, while challenging the conventional understanding of chaos and order. Lastly, we will delve into the biblical story of Cain and Abel, a tale of sibling rivalry, sacrifice, and divine judgment that continues to resonate with readers today. Each interpretation, unique in its own right, offers a fascinating lens through which we can explore the human condition, the nature of good and evil, and the intricate tapestry of life itself. So, are you ready to embark on this journey? Let's delve into each of these interpretations in more detail. Firstly, we encounter the Serpent seed doctrine, a controversial and divisive interpretation. This doctrine is a Christian belief, albeit one that sits outside of mainstream theology. It holds the assertion that the serpent from the Garden of Eden mated with Eve, leading to the creation of two distinct races. One race, considered wicked, descends from the serpent, while the other, seen as righteous, descends from Adam. This doctrine emerged from the interpretation of certain verses in the Bible, particularly from the Book of Genesis. Proponents of the doctrine argue that the language used in these verses implies a physical relationship between the serpent and Eve, which resulted in the birth of Cain, the first human born of sin. The serpent seed doctrine has found advocates in religious figures throughout history, such as William M. Branham and Arnold Murray. Their teachings, however, have been met with widespread criticism. Critics argue that the doctrine is not only incompatible with biblical teachings, but also fosters division and prejudice. In fact, the serpent seed doctrine has been associated with white supremacist organizations, with some adherents using it to justify racism and anti-Semitism. This association further intensifies the controversy surrounding this doctrine, underscoring the potential danger of misinterpreting religious texts. Despite its critics, the doctrine continues to find followers. Some are drawn to its radical interpretation of the Bible, while others see it as a deeper, hidden truth. However, the majority of Christian denominations reject this doctrine, emphasizing the importance of unity and equality among all people as central tenets of the Christian faith. The serpent seed doctrine is a stark reminder of the diversity of interpretations that exist within the realm of religious texts. It highlights the way in which the same verses can be understood in vastly different ways depending on one's perspective and beliefs. This interpretation, while not widely accepted, has influenced various religious leaders throughout history. Its controversial nature serves as a cautionary tale about the potential misuse of religious doctrine. As we dive deeper into the different interpretations of the story of Adam and Eve, we will continue to explore how these narratives have shaped our understanding of morality, sin, and redemption. The Torah, a central text in Judaism, provides a different perspective on the story of Adam and Eve. Delving into the Torah's interpretation, we come across an intriguing notion that Cain, the firstborn son of Adam and Eve, is actually the offspring of the fallen angel Samael. This idea is derived from the midrashic text Pirkei de Rabbi Eliezer, which presents a mythological interpretation of the story of Cain and Abel. In the Torah's account of Cain's birth, the language used is notably unusual. It does not simply state that Eve bore Cain, instead it adds that she did so with the help of the Lord. This peculiar phrasing has led some scholars to suggest that the help provided by the Lord was, in fact, the contribution of Samael's seed. This interpretation casts Cain in a new light. Rather than being a mere mortal, he is seen as a sort of demigod, born of a union between a mortal woman and a fallen angel. This divine heritage could explain Cain's inclination towards evil as depicted in the Torah, his jealousy towards his brother Abel, his act of fratricide, and his defiance when confronted by God. The Torah's narrative does not end with Cain's downfall, however. It goes on to tell of the birth of Seth, who is presented as a replacement for the murdered Abel. Seth is seen as the true heir of Adam, the ancestor of Noah, and thus the progenitor of all future human generations. This sharp distinction between the human lineage of Seth and the demonic lineage of Cain further emphasizes the dualistic nature of the Torah's interpretation. As we delve deeper into the Torah's account, we find that it draws upon themes familiar from other ancient mythologies. Just as in Greek mythology, where gods often mated with mortals to produce heroes or monsters, the Torah presents a similar scenario with the seduction of Eve by the fallen angel Samael. This theme of miscegenation between divine and human beings, leading to disastrous consequences, is a powerful motif that adds a layer of depth to the story. This interpretation introduces a fascinating mythical element to the story, adding layers to its complexity. It challenges us to reconsider our understanding of these familiar characters and their motivations, and it invites us to explore the boundary between the divine and the human, the righteous and the wicked, and the blessed and the cursed. The Gnostic interpretation found in the Nag Hammadi library offers an alternative view on the creation story. This text, known as On the Origin of the World, provides a unique account of the creation and the end time, drawing from Jewish, Manichaean, Christian, Greek, and Egyptian ideas. The Gnostic text challenges the conventional belief that chaos predated all existence, asserting instead that something existed before chaos. It introduces us to Yaldabaoth, the proclaimed ruler who created heaven and earth, and his three sons. Yaldabaoth, interestingly, is equated with the Yahweh of the Old Testament, adding a fresh layer to our understanding of these narratives. Creation, in this Gnostic account, is not limited to the cosmos and the heavenly bodies. It extends to the creation of Eros and Psyche, paradise, and all life forms. The seven heavens of chaos are formed, marking a significant event in the creation narrative. But it is the creation of the instructor known as Eve of Life that truly catches our attention. Eve of Life is credited with giving birth to the first human, a feat she accomplishes without the involvement of a man. This is a stark deviation from other creation accounts and introduces a powerful feminine element into the story. Now the plot thickens as Yaldabaoth defiles Eve, leading to her pregnancy. This act of violation and the subsequent birth it results in adds a layer of complexity and intrigue to the narrative. Yet the rulers of darkness are not pleased with the events unfolding in paradise. They curse Adam and Eve, banishing them from the utopian garden and guarding the tree of life. This sequence of events echoes the biblical narrative of the fall of man, but with a Gnostic twist. The text concludes with a prophecy of the downfall of the heavens and the powers of chaos. The perfect ones are said to return to their home, while those who are not perfected remain in the realms of immortals. This Gnostic interpretation of the end time presents a vision of cosmic justice and the ultimate triumph of light over darkness. This interpretation combines elements from various religious and philosophical traditions, offering a unique perspective. It challenges our understanding of creation, the divine, and humanity's place in the cosmos, inviting us to explore beyond the boundaries of conventional beliefs. The biblical account of Cain and Abel provides yet another interpretation of the story of Adam and Eve. Cain and Abel, the first and second sons of Adam and Eve, are known for their tragic tale of sibling rivalry, jealousy, and murder. Their story starts with their respective professions. Cain, the elder of the two, was a farmer who worked the soil, while Abel, his younger brother, was a shepherd who tended to his flock. In their devotion to God, both brothers brought offerings from their labor. Abel offered the fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock, while Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil. God, for reasons not explicitly stated in the Bible, favored Abel's offering, accepting it with pleasure. This divine favoritism sparked a flame of jealousy and resentment in Cain's heart. Cain's reaction to God's preference is a pivotal moment in the narrative, revealing the destructive power of jealousy and the potential for sin that lies within the human heart. God, aware of Cain's growing anger and resentment, warned him about the sin that was crouching at his door, ready to pounce. God told Cain that he must rule over this sin, a cautionary message about the importance of mastering one's negative emotions and impulses. Despite this warning, Cain was unable to control his growing rage and resentment. In a fit of anger, he lured Abel into the field and killed him, committing the first recorded murder in human history. When God questioned Cain about Abel's whereabouts, Cain responded with the infamous line, "Am I my brother's keeper?" showcasing his defiance and lack of remorse. For his crime, God imposed a curse on Cain, condemning him to a life of wandering and toil. He would no longer be able to cultivate the soil, and he would be a restless wanderer on the earth. But even in this punishment, God showed mercy. When Cain expressed fear that others might kill him, God put a mark on him to protect him from being slain by others. This mark, often referred to as the mark of Cain, served as a divine protection, ensuring that Cain would not be killed. The story of Cain and Abel is deeply significant within the Bible. It not only illustrates the growth of sin from the initial disobedience in the Garden of Eden to murder, but also highlights the power of sin to divide people and disrupt relationships. It serves as a powerful reminder of the destructive power of jealousy and the importance of mastering one's negative emotions. Furthermore, the narrative of Cain and Abel lays the foundation for future biblical narratives about sibling rivalry, divine favoritism, and the struggle between good and evil. It underscores the human potential for sin and the importance of divine mercy and protection. This interpretation underscores the power of sin and its ability to divide people. Having explored these four interpretations, we can now compare and contrast them. Let's begin with the serpent seed doctrine, which posits an intriguing, albeit controversial, interpretation of the Genesis narrative. It suggests a dual lineage, one from Adam and another from the serpent, resulting in two distinct races. This doctrine, while provocative, has unfortunately been used to justify divisiveness and prejudice. In contrast, the Torah interpretation presents Cain as the offspring of the fallen angel Samael rather than Adam. This interpretation, rooted in midrashic texts, highlights Cain's inclination towards evil and draws parallels with Greek mythology. The Gnostic interpretation, found in On the Origin of the World, paints a more complex picture of creation. Here, Eve is defiled by Yaldabaoth, identified as the Old Testament's Yahweh, resulting in pregnancy. This narrative, filled with cosmological elements, offers a unique perspective on the story of Adam and Eve. Finally, the canonical Bible story of Cain and Abel presents a moral tale of jealousy and divine favoritism. Cain, the farmer, and Abel, the shepherd, make sacrifices to God. But when God favors Abel's offering, Cain's jealousy leads to fratricide. This story emphasizes the growth of sin and its power to divide people. Comparing these interpretations, we find common threads and stark contrasts. The serpent seed doctrine and the Torah interpretation both propose alternative lineages, while the Gnostic and biblical accounts stick closer to the traditional narrative. Each interpretation, however, elaborates on the nature of sin and the consequences of divine interaction with humanity. In terms of differences, the serpent seed doctrine and Torah interpretation focus on dual lineages and racial implications, while the Gnostic interpretation expands on cosmological aspects. The biblical account, on the other hand, delves into morality and divine favoritism. While these interpretations differ in many ways, they all offer unique insights into the story of Adam and Eve.